Hello students, now we are going to learn about pollination. So pollination is transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower. Where is anther located? It is found on the stamen. The upper part of stamen is called anther. And where is stigma located? It is the uppermost part of carpel, pistil. Okay. So transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma is called pollination. It is two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Look at this diagram, self-pollination. When transfer of pollen grain takes place from anther to stigma of a same flower or another flower of same plant, that is called self-pollination. Okay. When there is transfer takes place either in a single plant, a single flower or two flower of same plant, that is called self-pollination. Now cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is a mode of pollination in which transfer of pollen grain takes place from anther to stigma of another flower. And the flower is not only another, but the plant should be different. So flower of another plant, when it takes place in different flower of different plants. So you can also look at these definitions. It is written from anther to stigma of flower of another plant. So that is called cross-pollination. Here are two flowers, both flowers are found on two different plants. Then that transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma is called cross-pollination. When such flowers are found on two different plants, then that is cross-pollination. When it is in the same plant, that is called self-pollination. Okay. So how the process of pollination occurs? What are the agents of pollination? Do it happen automatically or there are some agents? So there are few agents which plays important role for pollination. Those are insects, birds, animals, wind, water. It depends upon the structure of a flower. Accordingly, the different agent works. Insects usually sit on the colorful and scented flowers and suck nectar. During that time, pollen grains stick with their body and get transferred from one flower to another flower, either on same plant or another plant. A few examples of plants are orchid, blue butterfly peas, that is called Apragita also. Okay, now through birds. Birds also sit on some attractive plants, and Fuchsia is a kind of plant, and few more plants are there in which pollination takes place through birds. Birds also sit for taking some kind of for eating some fruits or for taking some other parts of plant. During that time, pollen grains stick with their body. So basically in these two categories, the petals are big in size, colorful and attractive. In animal pollinated flower, usually it happens when animals go and sit and take some for having some fruits of a particular plant. During that time, pollen grains of flowers stick with their body and it gets transferred from one flower to another flower. A few plants examples of such kind of animal pollinated flowers are mango, guava, etc. Now next one, wind. Wind pollination takes place in flowers which are having small petals, and pollen grains are exposed to the wind. The petals are so small that easily pollen grains can be blown away through wind. Examples: grass family, usually corn, wheat, grass. In all these categories of plants, pollination takes place through wind. Next is water. Obviously, water pollination will take place in the water. Aquatic plants, the plants which are found, the flowers which are found in water. So for example, water hyacinth, which is found in water. So it depends upon the structure of flower, what is its structure, how attractive it is. On that only the pollination process takes place. Now you look at the screen.